I think for that to work, you absolutely get Valcomer to do it. You give him $1 billion.
Well, you could deep fake him. Deep fake the.
No.
So the title of this episode is now Deep Fake Val Kilmer's Dong. I'm sorry, everyone. No, this is the title of this adventure is Light of Xaryxis. Xaryxis is a nonsense word because Spelljammer is a nonsense campaign setting.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
Do I have, before the adventure starts, do I have like an apartment or something where I can carry all the gear that I can't carry?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll never see it again.
So I think what we need to do is open this actually with the song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, because that's the vibe I'm getting from this whole thing. Like, specifically the Shatner version of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Spelljammer is a setting that they started publishing probably the late 80s. It had to been the mid to late 80s for 2nd edition D&D. Destil will correct me if I'm wrong about that.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. And that was around the time when I was getting into D&D for the first time, and I always hated this setting as a kid. I always thought it was way too stupid to have like robots and space hamsters and things in D&D. Spoilers, now that we have the 5th edition book, the modern books with the modern adventure, which is what we're going to be playing, I still completely feel that way. This is the dumbest D&D adventure I own for 5th edition. And I'm going to love running it for the next 12 weeks. I can't wait. There is a fatal flaw in the design of this campaign adventure, in that the player characters, meaning you guys, you 5 weirdos, don't know what spelljamming is or that outer space is a thing. That's how the adventure is set up. But of course, they also give you all the fun like outer space races to play. So we're going to square that circle thusly. You 5 are like playing outer space characters that don't know what outer space is. Like, you're just going to have to be surprised when we go there. But you are still going to be playing the weird outer space people.
I feel like this is confusing.
Yes. Like, why would you give
Suspension of disbelief.
why would you give all these like exciting new player races and then specifically design the adventure to not use them? I don't know, but that's what they did.
Okay, so I feel like all of the adventure design for Wizards of the Coast for 5th edition, a lot of, well, not all of it, but a lot of it could probably have done with a common sense pass, if that makes sense.
So yeah, the adventure is written with the understanding that you guys are like low-level adventurers in this existing world, like you're humans and elves and stuff. But in Spelljammer, you don't want to play humans and elves. You want to play snot people and monkey friend. So why don't we just go down our lists and introduce our player characters, starting with Treble and going down in color order from there.
I am playing a Plasmoid Way of Mercy monk named Big Mousse, and that is not Mousse as in the animal, that is Mousse as in the dessert, because he is a gelatin person.
And you have chosen for your avatar for this campaign Flubber.
Yes, that's exactly what my character looks like, by the way. 100%, because when you create a snot person, they let you pick whether you are medium or small, and I am small.
Okay, so you're like waving, giving that friendly wave like that all the time?
All the time.
Nice. And you're very shiny.
Not tiny, I'm small. I'm the size of a hobbit.
Shiny.
Oh, shiny, yes. I mean, yeah.
And whoever
I
did
thought
this,
he said slimy. So
I glisten.
Whoever did this hack job chroma screen did a terrible job, I would say. On your little icon.
I am very I'm very glistening. I'm more. I assume that plasmoids are all very moist. You know.
Yeah. Okay. What about
oozes?
What about Monkey Friend here?
Monkey Friend is. Let's see. Hang on. The last name is somewhere else in my text file over here.
Oh, his last name is Friend. I thought.
His name is Milos Barza. He's a star of the Barza family circus. He is an acrobat and an extremely outgoing personality.
You couldn't tell that from this portrait at all.
Not at all. I think that's like some Wukong fan art that I found just randomly.
And you are represented here by noted con man and sex pests, Sten from Breath of Fire.
Sure, that works.
No, is this Sten? Because I've never played a version of the game where this is Sten.
No. That's not Stan.
Oh, who is
Like I
this?
said,
Who are we looking at?
It's some Wukong fan art that I found on the internet.
Oh, so this is like Son Goku or something?
Yeah.
Cool.
Roll with it.
Great. And then we have Pixel Jedi.
So Pixel Jedi is Lukari, who is a Hexblade Warlock. And because Spelljammer is so ridiculous, he's basically Jedi.
So does he have the beard and that blank expression?
Yes, he is an old astral elf.
Excellent.
He is a crotchety old Jedi.
All right, tell me about King Hippo.
Oh yes, King Capo. So this is Sergeant Giffordshire. He didn't go to sergeant school for years so that you can mispronounce his name, so he will correct you on that every time. And he is a Giff soldier. Basically, I had to use this icon because somebody said the word hippo and made me go, oh, yeah.
So
it solves itself, right?
Did you select this icon to go with the hero that you made, or did you make that hero because you knew that there was a hippo option?
A little of column A and column B. No, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna play a GIF, and then like, what Breath of Fire character is a hippo? And it turns out there aren't any.
No, sadly.
And then I typed in King Hippo for some reason, and then I was like, oh yeah, duh.
So does the sergeant actually have boxing gloves?
He could. Not on my character sheet, but who knows? Maybe I'll buy some.
And then we have Robot Boy here.
So my character's name is Naught. I thought I had changed the icon on my D&D Beyond to the Minites you fight on the big bridge in Final Fantasy V. Apparently I did not. That's fine. We can go with the one that they give you for an Autognome. He is a graduate of the Prismari School at Strixhaven University and a manic depressive artist who has lots of strong opinions about the art world and also fire and ice and spells.
And also a beak,
Just
apparently.
barely holding everything together.
He definitely has a beak in this artwork.
Yeah. Today, I mean, if I don't like that tomorrow, I'll just get a wrench. It's fine.
Are you playing Marvin from
No, I'm just literally like the character personality trait. I was going to play a different Strixhaven one, and then I saw this amazing personality trait when I was looking through the ones they give you in the book for Prismari of 2 weeks ago I was enthralled with my latest project. Now I think it's garbage and deserves to be destroyed. Instead of confronting my emotions, I channel them into explosive displays.
So some of you, which I guess pretty much just means Destil, but the adventure opens in a bustling coastal settlement, but it does not specify which one. So I guess the question is, like, what existing bustling coastal settlement would we like to destroy in the first chapter?
Oh, that's easy. Orlando.
Dunfoss.
Orlando's. It's not on the coast for one thing, Raz.
It's close enough, relatively.
What about
You
Rosie?
cannot
Let's do
get
that again.
further away from the coast in the state of Florida than Orlando.
To me, all of Florida is coast.
I don't actually know anything about Archeavos aside from where the school is, so I don't know what we can blow up in Strixhaven.
Raz, you are exempt from this conversation.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Look, I'm always down for blowing up Waterdeep. I am not an FR fan.
Yeah.
I have come to terms with it over the years,
Great.
but about half of FR is really bad, and Waterdeep is one of the places that's really bad.
Yeah, we could blow up Waterdeep. I'm cool with that.
Hey,
I mean-
I happen to know there's a great tavern in Waterdeep.
Lukari was
Skull
last
Alley.
time in Brennan, so
There's a really good board game for it.
we could blow up Brennanine, but I feel like we've already accomplished that.
Yeah,
Wanna
Brendan's
do, like,
already
a
been
time
blown
jump?
up. And besides, it's not coastal.
sunk to the
It's on a-
bottom of the
it's on a
Underdark,
lake.
fell over, then blew up.
No, that was Dunfoss that was falling into a sinkhole down into the Underdark. But Dunfoss is coastal. I don't really want to blow up Dunfoss though.
I think
feel
we're gonna need that one later.
Yeah, we might actually.
So
Yeah,
okay,
later.
so Naught is on like a field trip to Waterdeep.
Oh, he's graduated. He's a working artist now.
Oh, okay. So the five of you then, for inexplicable reasons, are already the various Spelljammer races, living and operating in Waterdeep. The five of you know each other through some means, whether you're members of the same guild or patrons of each other's work or just drinking buddies or whatever. And then your adventures have taken you to a coastal community, Waterdeep. I like describing Waterdeep as a coastal community. That just feels correct to me.
It's very quaint.
It's a quaint, idyllic fishing village called Waterdeep.
Yes. The small community of Waterdeep.
Small bustling community.
Local fishing boats share the harbor with trade vessels from far and wide. Lately, everyone has been discussing the deluge of falling stars that has lit up the evening sky for the past several nights. Some say these celestial events are omens of impending disaster. Others believe they are a precursor to the gods descending from the heavens to walk the land. No one knows for sure. You're just finishing your midday meal while listening to a blacksmith tell about being awakened last night by a loud crash. According to the smith, a crystalline vine burst out of the ground and punched a hole through the roof of his neighbor's bakery, and he's now sharing this tidbit of information with you very casually as he goes about his work. Must be divine punishment for the bad pies and steep prices, says the blacksmith with a nervous chuckle. Suddenly, the earth shakes violently beneath your feet, or in Treble's case, beneath your pseudopods? Yeah.
Yes, pseudopods. That's actually a racial feature. I'm
Is-
not lying.
Like, do you
Of
get?
course it is, right?
Are you able to like spider climb and stuff?
No, I mean I could shape a. I have a racial feature called shape body, and I can make a pseudopod.
So you can make feet and wear boots if you want to.
Yes, I can wear clothes. I am not like I am literally a halfling-sized flubber creature wearing a mask with just a belt on. Like I just have a belt with two pouches.
What
and
is on the
daggers.
mask?
Okay.
Casual hello, fellow Waterdevian.
Is it like a scream mask, a hockey mask?
No. It's a Phanto from Super Mario Brothers 2.
All right.
Okay.
So the reason he picked the mask up because he's a doctor, he's a healer, and the having no face thing makes bedside manner difficult.
Now,
So now
Treble,
you're
does your
just
character
extra creepy.
chase? Does your character chase after people who are holding keys?
No, the mask does though.
Oh, that's
It's a
so
problem.
creepy. That's
It's a
also
problem.
worse.
It's a problem.
You've somehow made the problem worse.
You hear the dull roar of a distant eruption. The smith and several others hurry outside. Joining them, you see a sinuous crystalline vine erupting from the ground a few blocks away, tall enough to be seen from the rooftops. Screams of panic rise from the same direction. And the one and only image that I can share for this adventure that I have not prepared properly, it's just loaded into immigrant.com.
Is it gonna be squishy flat?
No, it'll be fine.
Okay. Hey.
Like, this isn't what I think of when I picture Waterdeep, but, I mean, fair enough.
There's sections of
very-
Waterdeep that look like this. It's a
very
very
dry.
it's a big cosmopolitan city. There's definitely the crappy
Yeah.
section that looks like that.
Which is where you all are eating lunch. A sailor standing in your midst says, "I think it's time I return to my ship. You're welcome to join me. You'd be wise to flee as well." With that, she makes her way toward the docks. The ground churns again, and more eruptions burst through the streets all around you. From these sites sprout smaller crystalline vines that uproot themselves and begin lurching through the streets, driving panicked citizens before them, while the enormous vine in the distance stretches even taller. Roll initiative.
You're saying there is a upheaval of sorts of weird crystal?
Yeah.
Are we sure you didn't come up with this in the last couple days?
Let me see.
You almost had me in the right spot already.
Okay. Wow, pile up on 13.
Now, a lot of these encounters don't have maps, which means they're just going to be run theater of the mind. If this offends your sensibilities, get good, nerd. I do appreciate any written adventure that begins with roll initiative. So the 5 of you are taking midday meal at a cafe along this particular road, and this is actually the scene that you're seeing. I love that the character in the foreground is this, like, sleepy-eyed child with her little... Like, it's not a teddy bear.
That's
Like-
a bugbear.
It's a teddy cat.
Teddy Bugbear.
It's a teddy
Yeah.
bugbear.
Teddy bugbear.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a teddy bugbear.
Oh.
That's adorable.
She doesn't look, like, frightened. She looks, like, stoned. She looks like a garbage pail kid. That's what she
No,
looks
like, what is she looking at, right? Because the
Yeah,
vines
everybody
are
else
over
looks at
there.
this giant crystal. What the hell are they not looking at behind them?
Good
Yeah,
question.
what-
What they're not looking at are the 6 astral blights that have broken off from one of the smaller crystalline vines that have burst through the ground and are skittering towards you on the streets. So I also should probably roll initiative for the blights.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to track everything on D&D Beyond, and after a session or two, I'll give up and make a spreadsheet.
Blights are going to go on 11. All right, who's at the top of my order?
We've got the sergeant acting at 19.
Sarge.
Well, until the blights appeared, I was going to look around, but I mean, something looks threatening. I mean, what does a trained soldier do? Shoots it.
So you're shooting the teddy bugbear?
If it's shaped like a blight, then absolutely. But no, I'm going to shoot the closest blight that is approaching any civilian or party member.
So the blights, they look vaguely humanoid. They have heads and appendages and things. Any of you who have fought like plant blights in the past, like the little plant critters, which you guys are what, level 5, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys have probably have some blights under your belt here and there. But instead of being made out of plant matter, they are made out of this sinewy crystalline material. And there are
Well, I
6
hope you
of
can
them
shoot it.
skittering towards the crowd, chasing the crowd before them. You can absolutely shoot them.
Yeah. I have a 13 to hit.
A 13 will hit.
Oh, nice. Okay. 7 piercing damage.
So are you darting? You're not darting forward to engage the blights. You're shooting them from back here in the crowd.
I have a stupid range, like 90. Yeah. So I will probably from wherever I'm standing, I will fire at one, shout, "Oi, run for cover!" and
No,
or something like that.
Raz, no, we need stop. We have to talk about this.
Oh, I missed the pregame where. No. And then I'll fire again because I have a second attack.
Okay.
Don't.
Did I down the first one though? Probably not.
No.
I assume.
No.
Then I will shoot it again, and I
All right,
have.
Do you have 2
19.
guns, or are you able to fire a gun with the loading property twice in a round?
I ignore the loading property because
Okay.
I'm a Giff.
So gifts just have infinite. You got the infinite ammo bandana.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm tracking my ammo, but I'm assuming that he has a revolver that fires 2 shots.
Okay.
And 19 hits. I assume.
19 does hit.
Okay. 4 piercing damage.
Don't forget your special abilities for your class.
Oh yeah, well, I haven't played a ranger, so I've already committed the atrocity of forgetting to mark my target.
Well, you also have don't you have Colossus Slayer? You just do an extra D8. if it's below its hit point maximum. I think.
Oh, I do. Oh, I need that die. Okay, so yeah. So instead of 4 damage, that becomes an additional 3.
Additional 3. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is bloodied. The first
yeah.
blight at the front.
And
of the
I will stand my ground.
All right. Who's next?
Next up, we've got. Is this really Jedi Lock? What was your character's name?
Jedi Lock is fine. Character names are not important for this campaign.
Oh god.
Next up, we've got Chris's character at 14.
I think it's
Not man on deck.
I keep wanting to say Lukavi because those are the names of the evil demons in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Lukari, as in Luke, but yeah, sure, whatever. Names don't matter.
Names don't matter. Except for Giffordshire.
Names are incredibly important.
So yeah, 5 blights are coming down through the crowd. One of them is bloodied from gunshot wounds.
All right. Lukari will casually put down his coffee and groan as he stands up and turns around to face the blights.
Drinking coffee with your lunch?
Of course.
Okay.
He will let out a sigh, raise a hand, and fire off an Eldritch Blast.
Blights again. Every time I come to this cafe. Firing at one of the healthy ones or the bloodied one?
We're going to fire one of them at the... Okay, so question. Since there's 2 beams, do I have to choose targets before I see how much damage the first one does?
No, you can resolve the first one and then fire the second wherever you want.
Okay, so we're going to do that then. So the first beam is going to go with the bloodied one.
By the way, we're not tracking experience points for this campaign. You will level up every 3 sessions, every 3 chapters.
Okay, that's a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
So it's going to be 10 points of force damage, and it's also pushed back 10 feet.
So you shove it backwards. And as you throw your Eldritch Blast at it, you notice that the more you damage the thing, the more and more it illuminates the area around it. So the 5 that haven't been attacked yet, they're giving off an imperceptible amount of light in the sunlight. But the one that you guys have brought to the brink of death is now gleaming brightly from wounds deep within its body, shooting rays of light out in every direction.
It's still alive.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to hit it with the second one.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be an 18.
18. That'll hit.
For 2 points of force damage as it's pushed back another 10 feet.
It's not pushed anywhere because this blast destroys the creature and it erupts in a flash of blinding light. The other 5 continue to skitter forth.
All right, so for a bonus action, one of the ones that's coming towards us, it's going to need a strength saving throw. And the DC... Find it here.
23.
That passes. DC's 15.
Yeah. What are you doing to make them?
Telekinetic shove.
Oh, okay. Now, are you moving or staying put? Because right now I've got you standing next to Sergeant Giffordshire.
How far away are these things from us, roughly?
Close enough that next round they'll be able to attack you. If you don't retreat from this position.
Yeah, he's gonna... Actually... Yeah, he'll retreat back so they are 35 feet away.
Well, I'm not going to track individual feet for a theater of the mind battle.
Yeah, roughly he'll move back.
But I will put you behind Giffordshire. And I'm going to say it like that every time, and you note that I've said it like 3 times and Raz has not corrected me yet, because he knows better.
No, it's not my turn.
He knows I've got an open grudge slot in my materia right now.
Oh no. I don't want to be the one to fill that.
Who's next?
Got Mousse with Milos in deck.
All right. Mousse is going to vigorously jiggle over to the blights.
So you're going to advance forward towards the blights.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm vigorously jiggling forward towards the blights.
Is there a way to jiggle that isn't vigorous?
Of course.
Well, I'm going to.
You can jiggle apathetically.
And then I'm going
man.
to. Let's see.
Literally a monster in Undertale that does that.
I'm going to just attack the one up front.
Okay.
With a pseudopod punch. Does a 24 hit?
Yes.
All right. For 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Second pseudopod strike.
He's got vitamin K. That's distressing.
20 to hit. Dirty 20.
20 will hit.
Okay. For 7 points. And flurry of blows.
Mm-hmm.
For 15 to hit.
Welcome to level 5 monk. Yeah, 15 will hit.
Well, that's actually 17, but yeah, 8 points.
This one is bloodied.
And then a 23 to hit
Also hits.
for 4 more points.
Severely bloodied. And when I say bloodied, I mean you've opened gaping wounds on the creature and it's spitting those rays of light out from inside of it. Is that it for
And
Mousse?
That is the...
Would you like to have 1, 2, or 3 blights in your threat range right now?
1.
Just the 1?
Yeah.
So the other 4 can advance past you safely.
2.
2.
We'll say 2. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2. Block some of them, but like I don't want to block the way of other people to engage.
Okay.
Because we still have Milos and Naught.
Yep, we've got Milos with Naught on deck.
Milos is going to engage one of them separate from the others.
So you're advancing up?
Yeah, I'm advancing up as well. Draw a rapier. Very fancy rapier. And go to make a stabinating here. Hang on one second. I have to refamiliarize myself with this class feature.
Are you stabbing one of the healthy ones or the one that's at the brink of death now?
One of the healthy ones.
Okay.
Let's see here.
What are we waiting for?
Okay, I'm just double checking a thing here. So I'm gonna make the attack.
Okay.
Come on, dice. Work here. That is a dirty 20 to hit,
Okay, that'll hit.
and I do have my rakish audacity class feature, which allows me to get sneak attack on it when I'm within 5 feet of it.
Are you playing a swashbuckler?
Oh, the creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, I played swashbuckler. That's a good class. I like it.
Okay then. Yeah. I'm buckling my swash here. Looks like 15 points piercing damage.
Nice. And it is bloodied.
And then I back off.
Okay, we've got Naught.
Backing off?
Yeah. I have that class feature that whenever I attack with a melee weapon with finesse, I don't provoke attacks of opportunity when I back off.
So you don't want to tie up the one any of them.
Right.
Gotcha. All right, who's next?
And then we've got Naught. So Naught is going to sigh at the indignity of it all and cast a twinned haste targeting Sergeant Giffordshire and Mousse.
First session of the campaign, we're already busting out haste. That's how it's going to be?
And then also spend 2 more sorcery points and toss a quicken firebolt at the nearly dead one.
Okay.
That hits an armor class of 25.
Definitely hits.
It has been a minute since we've heard the word sorcery points at this table.
Dealing 19 fire damage.
And that's enough to kill the second one. Now, I'm not making any alterations to this adventure. I'm running it as printed. Otherwise, I would have absolutely given these Astral Blights a death burst, given how they're described. So
For real, though.
Naught is staying the back of the
Yeah,
line.
Naught will stay back behind. I mean, there's a bunch of civilians here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Naught will stay, interpose himself to some degree between the civilians and the creatures, but hopefully also allow, not in the front of the group, just in the middle of his group.
Do you want to be close enough that the Blights could reach and attack you on their turn, is the question.
Not particularly.
Okay, so you can... I'm going to put you back with the Jedi.
Yeah.
Then. All right, who's next?
We got Blights with Giffordshire on deck.
I got 4 blights.
Remember, haste is +2 AC.
2 of them are going to attack Mousse
Okay.
because he's got 2 tied up. Let's start with those guys.
I don't think Mousse is a he. I don't think he has a gender.
No, but he can give himself a penis if he wants.
I don't think that's how that works.
Pseudopenis.
A pseudo penis.
Dude, it's.
McDohl has a terror.
That's a totally different thing, right?
Hot. That's hot.
Mousse. I have. Remember, you've got bonus AC to your haste.
Yeah.
I have an 18 to hit,
That just hits?
and I have a 23 to hit.
Well, that definitely hits.
Okay. And you're a small creature?
I am a small creature, yes.
Okay. 7 points of radiant damage from the first heat-draining vine.
Okay.
8 points of radiant damage from the second heat-draining vine. And you are grappled twice by the first blight. Second blight. I have a 10 to hit you.
No.
And a 15 to hit you.
No.
Okay. So you are grappled twice by one blight, and you are grappled not at all by the second. Escape DC for that, if you're interested, is 18. The other 2 blights. Coming through the crowd, identifying you guys as by far the most dangerous people on the street right now. Let's go with Monkey Friend first.
Okay.
I've got a 15 to hit.
I'm going to use my reaction to. Yeah, I'm gonna add +3 to my AC for that one attack.
Yeah, swashbucklers are great.
Yeah,
So your AC turns into what?
18
Okay, so
for
this,
one attack.
this 17 is also going to miss then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I've got Sarge right here. Sarge is a much bigger target.
He's very big.
Sarge, I've got an 8 to hit
No, sir.
and a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Whew. 9 points of radiant damage, and you are grappled once.
Well, that won't do.
As 2 of the blights come towards your second line, the other 2 are still back on Mousse. And so now you guys are kind of just all engaged in this big cluster in the center of the crowd with Sarge, 2 blights, and Monkey Friend.
So we've got Sarge with Lukari on deck.
So I need to break this grapple.
So you're not restrained; you're just grappled. All that means is
Also,
your
you can
speed is
take.
0.
Can you break a grapple with the haste action? No. You can do a attack, dash, disengage, hide, or object. For free.
Yeah.
Breaking a grapple would require a strength athletics check.
Yeah.
I'm proficient in those, and I have advantage. So, yeah, let's try that.
This uses
And
your
then you
action
can
though.
still-
You can't. Well, with
You can
haste
still
on, you
use
can
the haste
still.
action to
I-
shoot them.
Gotcha.
after
Yeah,
you break
yeah.
out.
Well, I rolled a 2 and a 1,
Okay,
so I have a
Uh-uh.
6.
so you're not breaking any kind of grapple.
I'm not breaking anything. It's just a nice hug.
Don't worry, I got you.
But I have my hasted action.
Yep. If you shoot them, I will help.
Well, I was gonna punch them so that I don't have
Trust me, shoot them.
disadvantage. Oh, okay. I will shoot them.
I'm going to use my reaction to restore order and remove the disadvantage from that attack.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Clockwork
Okay.
Soul, huh?
I will pop him in the face then. I have.
You're shooting one of the ones on Mousse.
I'm shooting the one on Sarge.
Okay. Do you get
I have
disadvantage? Oh, you've removed disadvantage. I see.
He
Okay.
removed my disadvantage.
Gotcha.
I have 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah. All right. Is this one damaged?
No.
Oh, I rolled the wrong
Not yet.
dice. Where's my D10? Oh, someone borrowed it.
I'll
There-
make my own D10s.
Our infinity D10s in the back.
Oh no. Where is it? 11 piercing damage as I pop the blight in what could be its head.
Yeah, it has a head. It's vaguely
Sure.
humanoid shaped.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
And I can't move, so that's it.
Sarge, 6 points of cold damage as the blight that is grappling you restricts your movement and is draining the heat directly out of your body.
Oh, don't do that.
Who's next?
Next up, we've got Lukari with Mousse on deck.
So, Sergeant Giffordshire has 1 blight grappling him, and Mousse has just 1 blight grappling him twice, or he has 2 blights grappling him?
He has 1 blight grappling him twice.
Okay. He will let out another long old man sigh, glance at the 2 of them, tell them to get their act together, and he's going to Eldritch Blast the first blight that's on Giffordshire.
Okay.
That's an 18.
18 will hit.
All right, so he's going to take 7 points of force damage and be pushed back to 10 feet.
Bear with me 1 second. And if you're the grappler and you're forced to move, whoever you're grappled moves with you, right?
I think so.
I think that's how I've
That
always done
seems reasonable.
No, it doesn't auto break.
Congratulations, you've made Sarge a projectile.
I think if you shoot Sarge out of the grapple, that might...
You can pull Sarge out of the grapple.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're shoving him further away. So now Mousse almost has 3 of these blights near him.
Did Sarge go along with?
Yeah,
I assume
because
so.
he's got you grappled.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Giving you a nice cold hug.
That's amazing, actually.
That's fun.
I love how this looks like.
Okay, so pushing a monster doesn't break grapple. Pulling the NPC does, or pulling the PC does. Yes.
Typically,
Or
yes.
pushing. Or pushing. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Or
I could see
teleporting.
I could see situations where I would rule depending on the nature of the grapple. This nature is they're wrapping a crystalline vine around the Giff and giving him a
Okay.
cold hug.
I gotcha.
You could have. I assume that if you Eldritch Blast Sarge here, like you probably could have knocked him free that way.
Possibly, but you'd also have to
Yeah.
damage Sarge doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's the trade-off.
He's gonna grimace if that didn't work the way he expected, and then fire the other beam at the one next to Mousse that is not grappling him.
Okay.
One of them, one's next to me, is bloodied.
Well, I don't think is a 13 gonna hit?
13 does hit, yes.
Oh, it does. Okay. So this is gonna be the one that's bloodied if it's not grappling him.
The one that's grappling him twice is bloodied.
Okay, then we're gonna shoot the other one.
Shoot the other one.
We're 4 points of force damage and push it back 10 feet.
Okay.
And then bonus action, we're going to try and pull Monkey Boy free. Or Moose Boy?
I'm not grappled. Yeah.
Moose Boy. Yeah, we're gonna try and pull the liquid. Actually, can you just like slip out of grapple?
I have advantage on breaking grapples, but I'm
Okay.
grappled twice. So
alright,
I'm
we'll
going
try and pull you free. Do you want to successfully fail the telekinesis pull?
Sure.
Okay.
As we're gonna try and pull him 5 feet away.
Yeah, if you pull him 5 feet away, he's still in the threat. He's still in the threat range of the monster, but you can slip him out of the grapple that way.
All right, we'll do that.
All right.
And then we are going to take a couple steps closer and deploy the Jedi dual-bladed lightsaber.
All right. Who's next?
Got Mousse with Milos on deck.
So Mousse is probably like bouncing and bubbling from the haste, so he is going to vitamin K.
I like to think that haste carbonates him.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
He's fizzing.
Does a... Oh, that's probably not going to hit. What is my hit bonus?
New character, new rules.
Yeah, new character, who this? That's a
Right.
9 to hit. 9 to hit.
9 does not hit.
Okay. Second hit is a 20, dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
And hold on, I'm going to use a key point. So he takes 7 bludgeoning damage and 8 necrotic damage.
And that's enough.
As I use my Hand of Harm.
You have definitely harmed him.
Yes. And then I am going to run over to the other blight.
Mhm.
And I'm going to Flurry of Blows. Using another key point. And I'm
Bubbles furiously.
Yeah, burble, burble, burble. I'm gonna jiggle over there and punch him for 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Okay. So he takes 6 bludgeoning damage, and I am healed for 8 points as I substitute one of my Flurry of Blows for a Hand of Healing.
What monk is this?
Way of Mercy.
Way of Mercy. You think you're being merciful to my blights?
No, I'm
Yes,
being
go with
merciful to
yourself.
myself. So what it is they're awful monstrosities, and I'm being merciful by putting them out of their misery.
They're actually plants, not monstrosities.
Plant monstrosities.
You need to be more. You need to be more sensitive to other people.
Right.
Treble.
And my haste hit is a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Okay. For 8 points.
Okay. And it is bloodied.
And I need a DC 14. No, I'm gonna save my last 2 key points.
Okay.
So yeah, just 8 points.
Who's next?
Got Milos with Naught on deck.
Milos is going to re-engage with the same one that he stabbed earlier and attempt to put it down
Okay.
with his rapier.
That's the
But first,
one of the ones on the Sarge right now.
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and use a bonus action for City Game.
Okay.
Actually, no, I can't do that. Shit.
Not if you move.
Because I have to move. Yeah, because I had to move. Okay, then yes, I just nodded it.
But you do get sneak attack because Giffordshire's right here.
Yeah.
He's a big ally.
Does a dirty 20 hit?
Sure does.
Looking at 19 points piercing damage.
That's enough for him. So you and the Sarge are engaged with the last one on him, and then Mousse has one just ahead of you.
I'm going to cunning action to dash to try and flank them.
Flank who?
Try the blights.
Well, which one? The one.
Yeah, the other one's still on the sergeant.
Okay. Well, you're already flanking that one. You got that one on both sides.
Okay.
The flanking isn't a mechanic in 5e. That was a.
I know. I'm trying to inject a little bit of flavor in.
No, I got it. You're trying to make this blight feel like he was having a real. Like you should have stayed in the earth today. Like climbing up out of the ground is the last bad decision you ever made. Who's next?
Yep.
We've got Naught with blights on deck. How many of these things are left?
2 remain. The one on Sarge and Milos, still looking pretty healthy, and then Mousse has one a little further up the road who is bloodied.
All right, let's go ahead and toss a fireball to the bloodied one.
Okay.
So that'll hit an armor class of 8.
8 will not hit.
I think that's my turn then. We got the. I'm pretty happy where I am. We've got the blights with Giffordshire on deck.
All right, let's see if we can kill Mousse first session. I have a 19 to hit Mousse. Oh, I guess he's already dead.
No, sorry. Yes.
And I have a 12 to hit Mousse.
12 does not hit.
Mousse,
Yes.
you're looking at 8 points of radiant damage, and you are grappled once again. Grappled
Does it
once.
auto succeed? Or I have to make a check.
No, if he hits you, he grapples you.
Okay, cool.
Most monsters work that way. It's harder to grapple if you're a player character than if you're a monster. And I've got Giffordshire here. I'm going to give each of you 1 attack, I think. I have 19 to hit the Sarge.
Yes, that'll hit.
17 to hit Milos.
Use my reaction to boost my AC to 18.
Sarge, we're looking at 5 points of radiant damage from the vine. And the other vine misses.
Okay.
That's it for my blights. Who's next?
Got Giffordshire with Lukari on deck.
Am I grappled still?
Yes, and you will sustain damage at the end of your turn if you are still grappled.
I don't know Destil's character name.
Not.
Not you got another one of those lined
Yeah.
up for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that apply to all my attacks?
No, it's a single attack.
Okay, well the first one better do good then. 15.
Do you want me to use it?
Oh, well I've already rolled,
15
so
will
I
hit.
assumed
Okay,
that you
yep.
did. But
Yep.
yeah. Is this damaged?
The one on you's been damaged, but he's not bloodied yet.
Okay. Then he will take 9 piercing damage.
Now it's bloodied. And becoming brighter with each wound you inflict.
And then I'll shoot it again, but this one has disadvantage.
Okay.
15.
15 will hit.
Wow. 13 piercing damage.
That was exactly how many hit points it had left. So you are no longer grappled and will not take cold damage this round.
Hooray!
Moving or staying put. There's only one blight left in the vicinity that is engaged with Mousse a little bit up the road from you.
Sarge doesn't run, so he
You
will.
still have your haste attack.
Oh yeah, okay, I will attack then.
Don't forget you can mark a favored foe when you attack.
Yeah, I could, but I mean,
It's up to you.
Who can pick a favorite, right?
right? I mean, I would have made 4 concentration checks at this point. So, 25.
That'll hit.
And this one's wounded. You're gonna hear that a lot.
This one's bloodied, yes.
Okay. It will take 11 piercing damage.
Okay. And the thing is extremely bright and bloodied now. Moving or staying put.
I will slowly advance.
So you want to be up on melee range with this creature?
I want to move like halfway to it, but not be within 5 feet.
Okay, so I'm not going to move you at all on my little chart.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Got
fine.
Lukari with Mousse on deck.
Lukari, can you be the guy right here?
Yeah, Lukari's gonna walk up to the thing,
Okay.
and then he's going to Booming Blade.
Boom.
With some kind of laser sword.
Yeah. So that's a 17 to hit.
That'll hit. Can you do less than 1 point of damage?
No, let's find out. So he's got his Hex Greatsword.
Mm-hmm. Somebody does use the green flame blade in the D&D movie, which I really appreciated.
So that's gonna be 12 points of damage.
It had 1 hit point left.
Oh.
Listen,
Showboating.
no, you always roll the dice, Raz. That's something
You
you gotta
should.
learn.
No, absolutely.
No, definitely roll the dice.
Definitely roll the dice.
And I guess he won't push him back, so he's forced to take the boom damage.
You can't. If you're forced to move, you don't trigger that stuff.
No, but when you move back to attack, you do.
Oh yeah, well that's true.
So, you've defeated the blights in the immediate vicinity, but it's very clear looking along the skyline in all directions that the city is descending into chaos. The city guard in this area of the town is starting to kind of get things under control with your help. And there are fast and fevered discussions between the guards and the citizenry of what to do in the immediate aftermath of this panic, considering that the small, charming coastal village of Waterdeep is still heavily under attack from these creatures. There seems to be 5 reasonable options, depending on your group's personal aptitude and tolerance for whether or not you are heroic adventurers. Option 1, stand and fight the blights. Stand here with the city guard, try to take out as many of these creatures as you can. You've just defeated 6, so you have a good benchmark for how much of your party resource pool that took. There seem to be hundreds and hundreds more in different areas of the city. More will be on their way in just a few moments. Option 2, head to the docks. People will be flooding to the docks to try to get on ships, sail away on the ocean. Not like into the air and out into outer space. That's completely ridiculous. That doesn't even make any kind of sense.
That's absurd.
Yeah, completely absurd. But boarding a ship or commandeering a ship getting aboard one and sailing away from the coast is a good way to stay alive. Option 3 is try to hole up. There are lots of buildings, and these creatures, while dangerous, they're not siege engines. They're not pulling buildings down. So it seems like getting into a building that is reasonably has some reasonable structural integrity might be a way to stay safe and weather the storm. Option 4, get out of town, make for the outskirts. Get to the city gate, get clear of Waterdeep, go out. There's lots of other small, idyllic villages you might travel to. For example, Sigil, or, Neverwinter you might try.
I think we should go get coffee at Sigil. That sounds much more interesting.
Option 5, for the big damn heroes amongst you, would be to travel toward the giant crystalline vine that you only now see in the skybox of the world. Try to find out what caused it, where it came from, or what it wants.
Hello for the vine.
Clearly, Milos is a big damn hero. He wants to go that way.
That's insane. We are all going to die. We are all going to be little smears of cold oil and blob and Giffordshire.
I don't know what I reduced down to. He says that with a straight face.
Mousse is a doctor. He tells you what you reduce down to.
Giffordshire is horrified to hear that. I've already pronounced his name wrong. Oh no!
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
You have failed.
I failed.
Lukari
Myself
said
and others.
that he is too old for this shit, and he's tired of all the racket, so he wants to go to the vine and quiet the damn thing.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, we also need to see what's going on. If we can stop it, we can save people.
We're just going to go with whatever gets 3 votes first, as you guys
I think it's the
discuss.
vine.
I'm voting for the ships.
I will follow orders.
Nope, you have to make a decision. You're a PC of equal measure in the game.
Oh,
Milos
what that
orders-
means is
Milos orders you.
I will agree to go to the vine if sufficient people want to.
As the
Milos-
elder,
Yeah, we all will.
Lukari tells you to go to the vine.
So I've got 2. I think I've got 2 for Vine right now.
Three,
Yeah,
you got
I'll
three.
I'll vote vine.
All right.
You got, yeah.
I don't know why I actually raised my hand.
Milos orders you to be a big damn hero.
I've played the lawful neutral Giff character in the past to great delight.
Didn't realize I was stepping into an archetype.
That's pretty much what Giff are. They're just mercenaries that they follow their
Yeah.
orders.
Yeah.
Moving in the direction of the crystalline vine itself, crowds thin out in that direction, obviously, and the closer you get to it, the more and more structural damage there is to the roads and the surrounding buildings. When the structure burst up out of the earth, people in the vicinity fled as soon as they could. The side effect of that is that you don't run into any more of the little blights on the way. You're able to approach and get right up next to it without being attacked.
That's good.
How close would you like
I
to
don't
get to the
like
vine?
I want to touch it.
You want to
Can
go
we see what's around it?
wreckage, rubble. It looks like it burst forth through one of the through a large thoroughfare in the middle of the road, so it split the road, and the buildings on either side are cracked and listed.
Milos has both a climb speed and the ability to glide, so he could probably get some out and start making his way up.
Hold on, wait. Before you jump up, Lukari picks up a piece of rubble and throws it at the vine.
So yeah, by the time you get close enough that a hunk of rubble from the ground would impact the vine, you realize the immensity of this thing. The vine is 50 feet wide at its base and growing actively up out of the ground, kicking soil and cobblestones aside. By the time you reach it, it's easily 1,000 feet in the air. It towers over absolutely everything, curling away out of sight. It is warm to the touch, and if you put your hand against it, there's a not unpleasant motion as the smoothness of the crystal moves past your hand. Mousse was the one who wanted to touch it?
Yes.
Give me an intelligence nature check, please.
Sure. That is a 17.
17. And you're a doctor, so I'm going to allow you to make this an advantage. Because you have like a background doctor, right?
Well, my background specifically is just that, I'm very strange. What is it? I'm not a doctor.
Wait,
Like,
you're not a doctor, so don't make this an advantage.
I am a doctor, right? But like, it's not my background
Okay.
unless you want it to be.
Oh, you picked the background. It's your character.
Well, I just picked one of the base ones, Far Traveler,
Okay.
because it's all eyes on you because I'm a giant blob creature.
No, everywhere you travel in Waterdeep, everybody's staring at you all the time.
Moose just
So-
waves at them.
Yeah, putting your pseudopod against the... It's warm to the touch. The way like a wrapped, fresh hunk of bread would be warm, like almost soothing. And you realize you're feeling a light thrumming from inside. And you come to the conclusion that not only is the vine made of crystal, it's made of living crystal.
It's alive.
Who amongst you is trained in Arcana?
Lukari
I
is.
believe I should be. Let me double check.
I'm not.
I might not be.
How close would Lukari and Naught like to get to
Oh,
this
I'm not.
vine?
Well, if Mousse is climbing it, then Lukari is gonna approach the vine as well.
No one's climbing it yet.
But he's
Milos,
touching it.
Milos is right there with Moose.
So
And
Sarge will just
What's the
look up at
verdict?
it and can it be climbed?
Lukari, go ahead and give me an Arcana check, please. Intelligence Arcana.
It's gonna be an 18.
The conclusion you reach, as everybody else is looking up at this thing, awestruck at its height, like, how do we climb it? Like, I want to get up there and build a treehouse. You're looking down at the earth, and you're watching this thing visibly moving a centimeter or two every few moments, growing steadily out of the ground. And you realize the root structure beneath this thing is so massive. It has to be to support something of this weight. Horror struck, you realize that Waterdeep is going to be lost.
Guys, we need to cut this down if we want to save the city.
I'm willing to entertain suggestion as to how you do that.
It's like 50 feet across, isn't it?
The
It's
vines.
getting larger.
I love when the adventure prints little quotes like this because I love. The vines, the roots extend so deep into the earth beneath the city in so many different directions, and is feeding upon the planet's thermal energy. Because the blights that you just fought were very cold to the touch, whereas this thing is very warm. The energy is not coming from the crystal. The energy is coming from geothermal vents beneath the city. And here's the quote from the book. There appears to be no way to stop this process.
Well, if there's
Well-
no way to do it, then
We tried.
I guess
Milos
we
is
just
going to start climbing.
Okay. Do you have a climb speed?
I do, in fact.
How high would you like to climb it?
Let's go good 120 feet.
So
Up-
if you
up
climb
a
for
little
if you climb for 10 rounds, you can go all the way to the top of this thing.
You know what?
I'm
I
okay
bought
with
these
that.
boots for a reason.
Guys?
Can you see the Moose is going to yell? I guess he's going to burble up very loudly. Can you see the docks? Are the refugees making their way up there?
So Milos and Sarge are going up. Milos is climbing and Sarge is using his combat boots of flying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not.
I would like to point out that on Sarge's character sheet, they're listed as combat boots of flying.
Yeah.
Nice.
Winged combat boots.
So with a climb speed, you have, you typically, if you're climbing a wall and you don't have a climb speed, I make you make a strength check or fall off the wall, typically.
Yeah.
Milos won't have to do that. You've got a climb speed, you're deft enough, and there's lots of handholds. Like the thing's not perfectly smooth, it's not slick. Although finally Zelda has a potion now that you can drink and climb in slick walls. Like Anyway,
Wow.
Oh,
One
that's
of those
nice.
blizzards. I'm so upset about it. I found
That's
exactly one of those
actually
so far.
that's actually a really good quality of life.
so both of
If
you
need to back patch.
get up. I mean, by the time you go up a good 100 feet or so, you have a commanding view of the city, and you can
Yeah.
see the chaos all around. Most of the structural damage to the city itself is centered around the vine that you're currently climbing. The smaller vines are doing much, much less damage, but looking around, you see patches of these astral blights all over the city, where guards are holding up, creating combat lines, where people are defending positions, and yes, people are swarming to the docks.
Yeah, okay. I'll call back down and yeah, there are people getting there at least.
We should. My vote is for us to head that way so we can help protect them against the blights.
Do I see anything up here that would be worth noting? I guess.
I mean, there's
Just
a
looking around.
1,000-foot high crystal vine growing up out of the earth,
Yeah, what's it reaching towards? Just the sun?
just reaching up towards the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, Milos is gonna go for the top.
Both of you give me a perception check, please.
Yeah, perception.
15.
20.
20. Milos. You turn your gaze from the city below you and scan the horizon instead, out in the distance. And you can see, way out on the edge of the horizon, several more similar vines, miles and miles and miles away from you, reaching up out of the earth.
Milos' jaw drops.
Something is eating the planet.
Oh, good. Faerun's getting devoured. And nothing of
What?
value was lost.
Which of you guys down at the base of the vine has the highest perception bonus? The three of you down there.
Perception. My perception.
You're not down there. You're
is,
climbing. No, you're not climbing. I'm sorry.
My passive perception is 10, so 0.
+6.
I have a +4 with a passive of 11.
Mousse, yours is +6.
Or, sorry, 14.
Yep.
Okay. Mousse.
Yep.
Looking back the street that you came up, you realize that your presence has been noted somehow by a second pack of astral blights. If you're not out of here, if you don't leave the base of the vine within the next couple of minutes, you're going to be swarmed by them.
Mousse yells up, "Time to go!"
Can Mousse yell?
He blurbles very loudly, "Time to go!" It's got like a bubbling quality to it.
So
I
if
think.
I were to use all of my spell slots and all of my sorcery points, I could blast a 60-foot by 60-foot by 15-foot cube, and if this vine is actually crystal, that might destroy it. Like, I could maybe chop this whole thing out.
It might be, but again, there appears to be no
But it
way to
keeps
stop
growing,
this
right?
process.
Yeah.
Plus, there's like roots underground, and there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, I could
It
maybe chop.
appears.
I could chop what's here down if I spent like a minute in every resource I had. I don't think that solves the problem, and I think we should go. Like I said initially, this place is a death trap now.
So now we hit the fast forward button to where after Naught has done this, it just yells timber, and this giant vine falls downward.
Poor Milos and I. Well,
It-
Milos would be in trouble.
And it crushes this little girl and her
And her teddy
Bugbear.
Teddy
bugbear.
bugbear.
teddy
So
bugbear.
what's delightful though is that Milos he could push off of the trunk and just glide down.
Yeah, you both can just call it because Sarge has his combat boots of flying.
Yeah, but he looks way cooler.
So what is
I
your?
don't know,
not
man.
not
He's
Sarge.
the Wizard of
Milos.
Oz?
Sorry. Sorry, Milos looks way cooler. So Sarge just kind of like huffs and slowly hovers
Okay,
down.
I did not realize he was from the Wizard of Oz. I don't
No,
know.
it's more like a monkey, but with like the skin, the skin.
They're glider
flaps like a
monkeys.
flying squirrel.
Yeah, I'm going to
of
use
deal.
my DM executive fiat to canonize the idea that no matter what you guys are doing in what situation, Sarge always looks the coolest. Because
Oh no, I was.
that's just my Giff bias speaking, and
I
that
was aware I was
nothing
gonna be-
Yeah, nothing Mousse ever does will ever look cool.
Milos is very upset right now.
I'm sorry, I'm picturing you as a very large sugar glider.
A little bit.
I used to have some friends that kept sugar gliders. They are the worst. What a terrible pet.
Milos is the worst.
So,
So,
are
good
we-
company.
What's our decision now? Now that you've investigated the vine and realized there is no way to stop this process.
Time to get the heck out, and
Go.
there's no reason to go out there because there's more vines. Maybe the ocean is safe.
Okay?
Well,
Did we see any coming out of the water?
No.
No.
You saw some
Yeah,
going
yeah,
out of the
yeah,
land
yeah.
far on the horizon.
Yeah, water sounds good now.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
sounding like water is a good call.
I mean, if you somehow had a way to get on a ship and then leave the planet, that would be a really safe thing to do. But
That's absurd.
Oh man, that'd be really helpful.
preposterous. Not
If
even.
only something like that happened.
That's absurd.
Do we see any rockets anywhere we can get on?
There's that
Where's
one
the-
Candlekeep
Unfortunately,
mission.
no. Yeah, that you have to go to Candlekeep to ride the
Yeah,
rocket
there's that one Candlekeep
Out into
side
the-
adventure that Brickroad adapted.
out into the Contra Arrow shell. I would like each of you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I'm a rogue. I don't know about no dex saving throw.
It's an
Uh,
18.
I have 22 before Destil rerolled.
7.
7.
Wait, do you have disadvantage?
No,
Then I
you
can't
just
help you.
no, you rolled my dice, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
shit! I'm glad I wrote that
sorry.
number down.
10.
Let me just do this.
Looking for
12.
DC is 12. Who passes?
Fail.
The Sarge
well.
passes.
So 18 points of bludgeoning damage if you failed the save. You can cut that to 19 if you passed the save.
That's
It goes-
not cutting it.
It goes up
What?
by 1 if you fail.
It goes up.
All right, sure. That's some bear math for you.
Wait,
If
what's
you pass, it goes up by 1.
no?
So,
18 if
it's
you
18
failed, 9 if you passed.
You
Or-
said 19.
19.
You said
Did I say-
19.
All right, fine. I'm gonna stick with it. Take 19 if you passed.
Treble can. He can take it for me.
I've got an empty grudge slot. Let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took 19 damage. Sure.
As you guys are making your way through the city streets, an avalanche of debris crashes down onto the building next to you, raining down, clattering into the crowd, crushing several unlucky people next to you, one of which is a little girl with a teddy bugbear.
No.
Oh, no, she's too terrifying to live. Have you zoomed in and look at her face? This thing was not human. So,
She looks like a Cupid doll, actually.
That's the face of someone about to be crushed by debris.
right. Would
We
one of
figured it
you
out.
would one of you like to emotionally rescue the teddy bugbear from her crushed
Yes.
hand?
Yes,
Yeah.
Lukari will take the teddy bear.
Add the teddy bugbear to your character sheet. It is not a magical item and it doesn't do anything.
That's fine.
Sells for 0 gold.
The scene at the docks is chaotic. Hundreds of people swarm the piers, trying to push their way onto 3 vessels that haven't yet set sail, 2 longships and a galleon. A group of thugs in black leather armor use their clubs on a crowd of screaming commoners, keeping the people away from the ships as they're loaded with cargo under the supervision of a sneering man with long red hair. A woman steps out of the crowd, wipes blood from her chin. "Glad to see you again," she says with a smile. "I'm Captain Elena Sartell, and one of those ships is mine. Pity I can't reach it. Would you be good enough to help me? I promise to return the favor." She points to the galleon, styled the Moon Dancer, which is a great name for a ship that could leave the sea and go up into outer space, if only such a thing were possible.
That was so absurd.
So
Like,
half
when,
jack.
I don't know why you keep raising this absurdity.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just, I really should stop bringing it up.
It's really taking me out of my immersion.
She identifies the red-haired man standing aboard her ship as Travis. And his group of thugs has apparently commandeered her vessel. She was in the pub having some suds when the unpleasantness happened.
Milo says, that's not very nice.
She agrees.
Don't
I'm-
worry.
I'm gonna
Take care
take
of
the moment before. I'm gonna take just a moment, and I'm going to use my last 2 key points on myself
Mhm.
because I took 18. I have 5 hit points because you just randomly did 18 points of damage to me. I take that's
Yeah, I'm gonna cure
5,
wounds as
6,
well.
11. It's 11 hit points. Up back to myself. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So Captain Sartell has
One.
seen you guys fighting in the streets and deems you worth bringing aboard her vessel. If you can help her get her vessel back under her command, she is more than happy to sail you to safety.
Certainly.
So,
Sounds good to me.
who's this man that has taken over your vessel?
So right now, you can just look up on the deck of the Moondancer and see that Travis has organized his group of thugs. They seem to have gotten control of the gangplank. They're controlling the crowd there. And now Travis is calling out that if anybody wants to come aboard his ship, they better show him gold. To which
Right.
some of the commoners are hurling bags of money up onto the deck.
Right.
I've got this.
Rick, question. Wait.
How many
Great
goons
question.
does he have?
What's Chris's question? We'll start there.
Okay, so this guy in charge is standing on top where he's visible.
He's standing up on the deck, yes.
Okay, and how far away is he from the edge of
Are
the
you
ship?
going to attack him?
How far away is he from the edge of the ship?
Are you planning to attack him?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm going to move on from your question then to...
I'm going to cast a spell.
you're going to cast this... Are you going to attack him?
Sort of.
I'm gonna knock him in the water.
I want to
I'm
resolve...
I'm going to attack his mind. I'm not like physically attacking him.
I want
I
to...
was just gonna shoot
I'm
him.
going to use an illusion spell.
I want to try to resolve all of the non-roll initiative options before we roll initiative. Did anybody have a non-roll
question.
initiative option?
No.
My question was, how many goons does he have working for him?
You take a minute, and do you have any proficiency with sailing ships, navigation, anything like that?
I surely don't.
Give me an intelligence check.
21.
21. Counting the men, they definitely have enough guys to hold this gangplank against the common rabble. Like if the city guards showed up in force, that would break them. Unfortunately, the city guard are engaged elsewhere. You count 10 guys plus Travis. That's enough to hold this gangplank and keep the rabble off the ship. You don't think it's enough to sail this vessel. You need a crew bigger than that. So either he has the existing crew, Captain Sartell's people, on the ship somewhere and is planning to use them to sail, or he doesn't have a plan.
Is
You
there a
don't know
building
which.
nearby where I can get some altitude
Sure.
over the ship? Because my intent would be to glide onto the deck of the ship at that point.
Okay. Any
Can
more?
I ask, like, does casting spells like Charm Person result in initiative? Like, so basically, like, I mean, I don't know if they. I would like to cast a spell. I have a bunch of spells that will ostensibly will not be harmful. Like I have a bunch of like I have a bunch of charm and illusion spells that might help, but I don't know if the act of casting a spell is the initiative trigger.
I'll tell you what,
I
it's
get
got a verbal and somatic component.
Mhm.
I'll let you make a bluff check versus his perception.
I am okay with that.
Yeah. And if you fail this check, then we're rolling initiative.
That works for me. Does anyone else want to do anything else before I potentially start initiative?
I mean, it looks like he's
Other than
amenable.
start initiative.
He does look
No, I
amenable
don't.
to negotiation because he's currently talking to a bunch of people on the crowd. This guy's got throw a bag of gold, let him up the gangplank kind of conversation.
I mean,
Lukari's plan is to knock him in the water.
I mean, that's also a great plan, but that's definitely roll initiative. So yeah, go ahead and give me
Yeah.
a bluff check.
I mean,
Not-
deception.
Yes, sorry.
All right, so I'm going to use built for success because I'm an autognome. I get to add a D4 to some number of checks per day.
Somebody mentioned flanking earlier, and suddenly I'm playing 3rd edition
Yeah.
again.
3-5. yeah.
So this is a deception roll at +4.
You're looking to beat a
disguise my
13.
spellcasting. That would be 17.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, his attention is engaged with this big crowd. He's thirsty for as much money as he can get out of the situation. He doesn't notice when
Okay.
Naught steps up to the edge of the pier and casts Charm Person on him.
I am casting Phantasmal Force.
Oh, okay.
Same components. And I am creating the illusion in his mind only of a giant constricting blight writhing out of the hold of the ship and going right for him. So he gets a save against the illusion.
Oh, yeah, let's...
I love that the material component for this is a bit of fleece.
That's a... Oh my god, that's pretty good. That's a good pun. That's a big fail.
Yep. So now he believes that is real and will react as if it were. So there's a 10-foot... There's a 10-foot part of the deck that he believes is completely being invaded by the things right on top of him.
He immediately turns his attention from doing the crowd work and begins ordering his men to interpose themselves between him and the creature that none of them can see, causing chaos aboard the deck. And when the man nearest to him doesn't immediately obey his orders, Travis begins clouding him upon the ears. Nobody's paying attention to you guys anymore.
Can I... go ahead, McDohl.
Then I am absolutely going to glide onto the deck.
So you want to land directly on the deck?
While he's doing that, can I play? Would this be? If I played, I have a magic flute that causes the frightened status effect condition. Can I play that and not cause initiative? I want to give McDohl time to land on the deck.
I would say you could play it, but like it's you have to hear it for the effect to take place, right? Because the only way you could make yourself heard on the deck of the ship is to shout up there, and I'm not sure a flute would be loud enough. If you were on the deck of the ship, I would allow you to do it.
It's each creature within 30 feet that I choose. So if they're within 30 feet of me, it actually doesn't mention anything about being able to hear it.
Okay. I'll say you probably get a couple of
yeah,
thuds.
It does. Yeah, it does. Each creature within 30 feet, they can hear you. Gotcha.
Okay. If you were on the deck of the ship, they would be able to hear you. But playing your flute from down here, the cacophony is too much. Milos, you're able to glide down onto the deck of the galleon without being noticed by Travis or any of the thugs.
So after 6 seconds, he's going to start taking psychic damage as he perceives this thing to attack him. That might cause.
That's going to roll initiative then. So we're going to start initiative.
Before that, can Sarge also fly over to the gangplank or the?
Yeah.
What's it called? Yeah.
I'm giving them a perception check to see if they notice you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's stealthy, but he's also really big.
He's a hippo.
I don't know how you would stealth that.
You can't.
Right?
If you were invisible, I would allow you. But no, the problem is right now their captain has suddenly immediately shifted gears to ordering them to attack something that's not there. So yeah, Giffordshire, you also managed to get onto the deck of the ship unnoticed before my man starts taking psychic damage.
That's when we go on initiative.
Yes. When I run Theater of the Mind, I just keep track of people's general positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Not clicked on the tabletop. What is that?
What's the CR of the turtle in the top left corner of the screen?
Oh, is that still there?
Oh yeah, I'm leaving it there forever.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative, and we need a blue for this. And we need a purple for this.
I should have done an illusion of like something flying through the air and sinking the ship. Oh well. Illusions are only as good as the person who thinks of as the player's limited imagination, and I was not imaginative enough.
And he gets an investigation check to break the illusion if he wants.
If he wants to spend his action.
Like he probably will on his first turn after he takes psychic damage. So none of you, nobody is surprised in this scene. So right now I've got Milos and Sarge on the deck of the ship. The rest of you, if you wanted to get on the ship, would have to go up the gangplank. I'm going to count the gangplank as difficult terrain because right now it's being crowded with people. You have to shoulder your way through. So the only way to get onto the deck of the ship on this turn is to dash. You would need to take a dash action to get up there. Who's at the top of my order?
All right. First up, we've got Mousse at 23.
Okay. Mousse is going to...
That's doctor to you.
No, we determined he's not a doctor.
I'm a doctor. At least he tells people he's a doctor.
That's
Trained in
fine.
medicine?
Sorry.
Is he trained in medicine?
Yes, he's trained in
No, he's a
medicine.
doctor.
I'm going to not dash. I'm going to get halfway up the gangplank.
He doesn't. You don't have a dash action anyway. You have a squidge action.
I'm going to. I technically do have a squidge action for Crow. Like that's not. Again,
Does
I'm
it
not.
dash?
So I can fit into spaces at least an inch wide.
So you're
I
getting
can
up
squeeze-
onto the gangplank this turn.
Yes, I'm going to get up on the gangplank and Am I close enough? How loud is it?
If you're on the deck of the ship, you can play a flute and get some number of the thugs.
Okay.
From your position here, there are 10 thugs plus Travis. I'll give you 4 from this position.
Okay. I need a DC 15 wisdom saving throw, please.
I will give that to you as soon as I retrieve my monster manual from the tunnel. We're supposed to be getting an updated monster manual, what, next year?
Oh, I think
Think so?
I think at this point it might be pushed back to 2025.
Oh, well.
Possibly. I don't know.
I would love to
There's-
have an updated mod that has just every stat block from that they've ever published. Would be really good. All right, so I'm making 3 wisdom saves.
Yes.
Fail, fail, fail.
Okay, they are frightened of the ooze man for 1 minute. I think. Yeah, 1 minute.
Just find their stat block here. Yeah,
they
no,
are
it's-
frightened.
yeah, the thug comes up. The thug's on the deck. See the ooze man coming up.
Just very friendly, like bounces and then plays a haunting melody, and they are afraid.
All right, and so that's just the standard fear condition, yes?
Yeah, it's just the frightened condition. Yeah.
So they can't move close to you. They have disadvantage if you're in their line of sight when they try to attack. Okay.
Right.
And you're standing. You want to be right at the front of the gangplank. Do I have that correct?
Well, I want to be as close as I can get.
So yeah, you can get up to the gangplank. So on your next turn, you'll be able to move on to the ship.
Okay.
Who's next?
Next up, we've got Purple with Milos on deck. Milos is actually on the deck, too.
Yeah, Captain Sartell. She tells you. I mean, she told you back down at the pier, like, hey, if you guys help me get my ship back under control, you immediately spring into action, and it's clear that she wasn't exactly expecting this kind of assault. But she's amenable to it, and she likes y'all's confidence, but she's not going to rush the deck with you. So she stands at the base of the gangplank with her arms folded, just to watch how this plays out.
Let's all go. We're all just full of beans, y'all.
Who's next?
Next up, we've got Milos with blue on deck.
Milos, in your position, as soon as you touch down on the deck, for right now, this next action, I'm counting you as being hidden, because nobody saw your approach.
Okay.
If you make an attack from this position without moving, you'll get advantage on it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right. So you've got 10 thugs. You've also got Travis. Travis is standing... actually, he's moving back towards the... I'd have to look at a map of the ship to see where he's moving to. The map of the ship doesn't come into play till Chapter 2, so I don't have it prepared yet. Oh, no, there is no map of this ship. That's helpful. But it looks like a typical galleon, so it would have an aft castle that he's kind of moving towards. Like, he's going to shutter himself inside while his thugs take care of this.
It
fantastic
sure would be a
assault.
shame if he accidentally walked into the backed into my rapier.
That would be a shame. Well, you'd have to move to attack with your rapier.
Oh, fair enough.
You got to attack it with something ranged if you want to take advantage of being hidden.
Okay. Then I'm not going to attack I'm not going to attack while being hidden. Instead, I will call out a challenge to Mr. Travis. Say, this is your ship.
Call out a challenge.
Yeah.
What's
What's the ship's name?
What's the goal? Are you trying to get him to stand down?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is your action. Give me a strength intimidation check.
Oh, goody goody gumdrops. Wow, 18.
18. Yeah, he's turning towards the aft castle. So you touch down, he'd have to go past you to move there, and he stops his movement. You call out your challenge. He knows the ship's name, but he looks much, much less in control of the situation than he did a few moments ago. And you think if you continue to push him on this, he'll almost certainly stand down from you. You are a very intimidating monkey man.
I just picture a very primate-looking Errol Flynn.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
What's your passive insight?
Passive insight is 15.
15. Some of the advantage you're gaining from intimidating him is that he still thinks that there's a monster attacking the center of his ship. Once that's no longer the case, you don't think you'll be nearly as intimidating. So you probably have
Fair enough.
1 or 2 rounds until he breaks his check. So you're staying put there to make sure he can't get into the aft castle from where...
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
Holding him
Next
at
up,
the point of my
we've
rapier.
was that blue? No, it was Milos.
That was
We got
Milos'.
Blue with Giff on deck.
All right. So he's going to take some psychic damage from the Phantasmal Force.
I think that's on my turn. Let me look. On my turn, yeah.
Go ahead and roll me some damage for that, because it was taking that damage that would have kicked all this off.
Yep.
Where he would have known he was
So
under attack.
He rationalizes this as cold damage, but he's actually taking 1 psychic damage.
Okay. And it is a intelligence investigation check.
Looking for a 15.
15.
Let me know if he passes it.
No, he does not pass.
Okay.
So yeah, Milos, you see him on the deck looking back towards the middle of the ship where nothing is happening. His thugs are kind of standing around confusedly, like his command is breaking down, back towards you and the tip of your rapier. And he holds his hands up. And he looks at you. This is all right, but it's not your ship either. And it'd be a shame if your monster took us all down. So why don't we talk it through?
Boy. Smart boy.
However, he's not an idiot. He's going to ready an action to attack you if he takes any damage.
Sure.
Who's next?
Let's see. That was blue. So next up, we've got Giff with Lukari on deck.
Where did
So-
Sarge touch down on the deck of the ship?
I was gonna say towards like the back, like the aft of the cabin.
So you and Milos are kind of standing together then, because he's standing in front of the door to the aft castle with his rapier out.
I thought I was gonna be on the other side, but the intent is to kind of approach around and hold my revolver aimed at him with a ready action.
Okay.
And the trigger will be he does something hostile or his men do. And then I will just shoot.
Oh, his men will definitely be doing something hostile on their turn.
Oh, well then, it's part of my turn, he'll say, call them off.
Okay.
And he'll just stand there with his gun drawn.
So as an action, you're telling Travis to call them off?
Well, my action is to take the ready action,
Okay.
so I can't do both.
You can still say call them off. It's just you
He'll
can't.
just say that, yeah.
So you're readying an action. Who's next after Hippogriff?
Lukari with Naught on deck.
Okay, so from where Lukari is standing, can he knock Dravis into the water if he moves him 20 feet?
20 feet?
I guess the question is Lukari standing on the side of the ship or facing it kind of head on?
You're standing at the pier looking at the side of the ship. The gangplank is going up. I don't know one side from the other. I don't know which
The
side
side.
is the starboard and which side is the anti-starboard.
Larbird.
Is the boss man within like 20 feet of the edge where he can be knocked off?
He was making his way into the aft castle. Yeah, I'll say, well, you have two. I would say it would take 2 blasts, because this is a big galleon.
Yeah, each blast is 10 feet.
If you hit him with, okay, yes, if you hit him with 2 blasts, I'll say, you know what? I'll give him a dex save or a strength save to stay aboard because I feel like you can knock him right to the other banister on the opposite side of the ship with 2 blasts.
Okay. So the question, just because I've been a caster in a long time, I can do a bonus action and cast a spell, right?
Yes.
As long as you can cast 2 spells in a round, as long as one of them is a cantrip. If one is an action to cast and the other is a bonus action, and one of them is a cantrip, which Eldritch Blast is.
Okay, then what we're going to do is bonus action to hex him and give him disadvantage on dex saves.
The strength save.
Or strength save, yeah.
That's just checks.
It's checks,
It
not saves.
does not affect saves.
Hex
But it
isn't
would
that
give him
good.
disadvantage to swim.
No, yeah, disadvantage on ability saves. Yeah.
Disadvantage on saving throws is a much higher than 1 level spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. Silvery Barbs exists.
Oh, it does now.
Fair enough.
Something else to pick up later.
Silvery
so what-
Barbs.
That's okay. We're still going to
Yeah, if you blast him twice, I'll give him a strength save, and if he fails that, he's going to topple over the edge of the ship.
Yeah, what's swimming? Is that an ability check?
That's athletics. It's an ability check. It's strength athletics. If he
yeah,
knows
well-
how to swim, which he might not.
We're still gonna hex him so his strength is down.
Yeah, of course. Of course you do.
Of course. And then we're gonna hit him with 2 blasts of Eldritch.
Okay.
Do it.
So the first one is gonna be a 19.
19 will hit.
All right, now I just want to do these at once. So the second one's gonna be a 22.
That'll also hit. This guy's pretty beefy, so you got to get high AC on this.
He gets blasted 10 feet, and then he's going to get blasted another 10 feet.
So he gets blasted 10 feet, and then another 10 feet, and he takes 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. That's not nothing. Let's see if he
No,
passes
it
his
ain't.
strength save. So yeah. After the first hit, though, that's going to trigger his readied action. And he's still on deck. He gets blasted 10 feet. He's going to throw his dagger at Milos. Milos, I've got a 10 to hit.
Does not hit.
And then I'm pretty sure that triggers Sarge's readied action.
Yeah. Chain reaction. All right.
Because Milos, well, hey, let's talk this over. Then he immediately gets blasted by one of Milos' friends. So he looses the dagger at the monkey boy.
I have a 19.
19 will hit.
All right. He's not damaged, is he?
He is
Not yet.
from the first. That's what triggered his.
Oh,
action.
right, of course. Okay. Okay, so that's 15 piercing damage.
Okay.
You want to add your extra D4 as well?
Well, this enables my mark, so I don't actually get to do it until the next time I hit him.
No,
is
no.
my
You,
read
it,
on
it
this.
says you can roll the damage when you mark. It's right there in the.
I'm not using Hunter's Mark. I'm using Favored Foe. You can
Right.
mark the target the first time on each of your toes that turns. Oh, including when you mark it. Yeah, I will do that.
It's not your turn right now, though.
It says you can only use it once per turn.
Okay. Then yeah. You
Yeah,
can
this
do
is
it here.
this is part of my last turn, I guess. Okay, so 3 additional damage, and
This
then
is a reaction.
yeah, this is a reaction. I don't get to multi-attack on a reaction.
No.
Correct.
No.
Okay,
Correct.
that's all I do.
All right. So, Lukari throws his Eldritch Blast from the pier, crashes into Travis. Travis was focusing his attention ahead of him, reaches for his belt, flings a dagger at Milos, goes wide. Sarge sees the dagger leave his hand, levies a shot, shoots him in the chest. He's reeling. The second Eldritch Blast comes up from the pier, spins him aside, and he just loses his footing. There's a heavy splash as this poor bastard wearing heavy armor falls into the water.
Oh,
he's
no.
wearing heavy armor? Oh no!
Yeah, he's
Lukari,
wearing
Bad time.
wearing split mail.
Oh,
Lukari
hey.
will turn to the captain and say, "Is that good enough?"
Milos has a reaction right now. Sarge does not, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Milos, I will allow you to make a charisma intimidation check to get control of the rest of these thugs right now.
Sure.
I'm glad it's you and not me.
Holy shit. That's
Hey.
How'd we do?
That's a 20.
What do you tell these thugs then? Their captain just went overboard. They're in a complete state of disarray right now.
You can either put your weapons down now, or you can not. I don't like your chances if you don't.
All 10 of the thugs put their weapons on the deck. And yeah, Captain Sartell down at the pier, standing next to Naught, Lukari, and I think Mousse is still down there too. No, Mousse went up on the gangplank. Mousse is on my little... I guess there's 2 Mousses now.
How far away is the place where this guy went into the water?
He went over on the other side of the ship, so probably you'd have to climb up the gangplank, and then probably 30 feet from that position is where he went over.
If on my turn, I know we're kind of off initiative, but on my turn, I would like to move 30 feet, give Lukari an admonishing look, saying, "Must it always come to violence?" And then I would like to use shape water to freeze a 5-foot cube of water 10 feet underneath where he hit the surface, so he can stand on it.
Okay. So, the answer to your question, must it always come to violence, is no. You can, let's see. As an action, a character can convince Travis to take the party and Sartell on as crew, doing so with a DC 10 Charisma Persuasion check.
Wow. We made this a lot harder than it needed.
Yes, I'm gonna use shape water to freeze water underneath him so he doesn't drown.
Yeah, and after a moment, like, the ice bobs at the top, and Travis is, like, clinging to it on all sides, just gently drifting slowly next to the ship.
Out of the bay.
Yeah, and after a moment, Captain Sartell comes back up onto the ship, onto the Moondancer, and...
Milos sheathes his rapier, and he says to her, "Well, now I've been operating under the assumption that you are indeed the captain. Please, I hope that you're not making a fool out of me."
No, she is indeed, and she asks if you'll come down below deck. Most of the rest of her crew must be in the brig, and she asks the rest of you. She tells you that the Moondancer can accommodate 60 souls, and she'll take as many of these people as she can.
Mousse turns around and shimmies back down the. Because he can't just walk, right? We're all clear on that.
We're clear on that, yes.
Well,
Okay.
you could make
He wibble
you could make leg pseudopods and walk, but why would you?
I am walking on leg pseudopods.
Okay.
I am.
I'm going to draw the line. Walking requires knees.
So that's why I'm not walking.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna go with you.
So I just wiggle down and then
How many?
and blurble out that we could 60 women and children. Come on, let's go.
How many people are already on the ship? Is the 60 additional, or we've got 10 thugs?
60
the guy who wanted
citizens.
to be
She can bring 60 citizens aboard.
Okay, we've got 10 thugs. The guy who wanted to be captain. Per crew. Okay.
Well, so
They're not coming.
well, I'm going to make sure everybody's accounted for right now. So right now, Milos is going below deck with the captain, yes?
Correct.
Gathering up the citizenry. Well, I'll ask Naught this. Are you rescuing Travis from the water and bringing him up?
Not on the boat. I won't know. He,
No, I'm just keeping him from drowning.
Okay.
Like I don't have any specific control over that ice, and he has disadvantage to climb back up the side of the ship. So I think he might be stuck there.
Sarge and Lukari, are you going to assist Mousse in getting? Because you can take 60 people, but not more than that. You're not doing anybody any favors if you cram all hundreds of these people on the crowd. Like you're gonna have to make the decision to cut them off at some point.
Yeah, Sarge will do that.
Okay.
He will just start counting people off, and when Lukari tells him or gives him some sort of signal, he'll just stand there and walk away.
Women and children first, Sarge.
So like
What about
Moose
the crew though?
Mousse is like prioritizing children because 2 children equals 1 full person. So the idea is that you get 120 of them on, right?
So,
Is that how that works?
No,
So we can
because they
stack
still
them on top of each other?
Yeah.
so here's the deal.
Absolutely
Between the
not
three of
how
you,
it works.
I want you to make me a skill check to safely and efficiently cut off at about 60 citizens so you don't overcrowd your vessel. If 2 of you are trained in the same skill check, I will let whoever makes it make it at advantage.
Give me a
So
second to look at this.
I already have advantage at athletics.
So it doesn't matter what we do as long.
It has to
I
make
mean,
like I don't know how
I
you
can do
use
a
athletics.
persuasion at +7 or
Well,
performance.
I'd stand in the way and be like a wall.
That would be intimidation.
Oh, okay.
I've got persuasion at +7. Anyone else have persuasion?
Persuasion would work here.
I
No.
do have intimidation, but it's not great.
I don't have intimidate. I don't think.
I have Arcana, Athletics, Investigation, Perception, Sleight of Hand, and Survival.
Sleight of hand will not avail you here. You're not sneaking them aboard up your sleeve. All right.
So it sounds like we're just going to make a check without advantage because nobody shares the skill to do
It
it.
sounds like Naught is making a persuasion check.
You
All
don't
right, I'm
have
going to go
Yeah,
build,
right.
use built for success again to add a d4 to this.
Wait, Destil, you don't have Arcana?
How am I going to magic people off the ship?
Arcana
That's
wouldn't help
a
you here.
Persuasion of 25.
Okay, then yeah, you managed to safely get enough people on the crew, prioritizing women and children, because apparently the Snot Man wants to make a space harem. And you know what? God bless him. And it doesn't come to blows when people realize that you've taken on all you're going to take. Milos.
Sir.
Captain Sartell, who has artwork in Chapter 2, we'll see her next week,
Yeah.
takes you below deck. And her crew, nowhere near enough crew to pilot this entire galleon. Like to sail a galleon of this size, you would need more crew that she has. The man question mark that she introduces you to that's locked up in the bridge is Flapjack the Flumph.
I love Flapjack, best character.
What?
Yes, no.
I have
I've seen
artwork
this
for
art.
Flapjack the Flumph also in Chapter 2.
Milos cocks his head to one side.
So we're leaving Travis in the ocean, but we're taking his thugs, yes?
Do we
No.
need thugs?
You don't.
like-
You can march them off the ship if you want.
Yeah, let's march the thugs off the ship and get 10 more citizens.
Okay,
Yeah,
no problem.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, Giff, you take care of that.
So aboard
Yeah,
the ship right
Sergeant.
now, because he's also loaded quite a bit of treasure that he's pillaged during the riot. So that's nice to have. Sartell begins giving orders that don't make sense for a vessel that is going to be sailing away as the Moondancer is. The crystalline vine continues to coil upward, scraping the sky. From the harbor, you can see similar vines now in every direction, miles from the settlement, the small quaint settlement of Waterdeep, off in the horizon, towering over fields and mountains and roads off in the distance. They've burst out of the world and are reaching skyward. As the Moondancer clears the harbor, Captain Sartell stamps her boot hard on the deck. She yells out, "Flapjack, take us up!" Suddenly, the galleon lists and creaks as it rises out of the water and into the air. The world falls away beneath you as the Moondancer flies through the clouds and into the starry abyss of night.
Can we be on the deck when
Road.
this happens?
Yes.
Road, I
What
told
is
you. I told you that you weren't supposed to gaslight us into another campaign that wasn't what you advertised, and you did it again.
And suddenly there's mist.
You did it again.
No, no.
Fly up through the mist.
Raven Flumph with a hippo.
So
Next
I
week
have a-
on Light of Xaryxis, what will become of our intrepid heroes as they fly out into the space unknown? What secrets does Flapjack the Flumph hold under his delightful hat? Are they safer aboard the... Oh, he has a pirate hat, my dude. Are they safer aboard the Moondancer than they would have been standing their ground against the mysterious crystal vines? Find out next week on Light of Xaryxis.
Yay!
So ends chapter 1. So we got, what, 2 hours?
Yeah,
That
that
was
was an
fun.
hour and a half, actually.
Yeah,
That was delightful.
fair enough. A nice little bite-sized adventure, and we have 11 more of those.
Okay.
And every single one ends on a cliffhanger. I do think later ones have, like, dungeon delving and crazier encounters and things. But, yeah, it turns out ships can fly.
Who knew?
Yeah, nobody knew. Nobody had any idea.
Genie,
pretty sure
Genie
Captain
somewhere is
Sartell
so
had an
mad.
idea.
Genie somewhere is extremely mad.
Jeannie got to Sigil, and then she found out like spell jamming ships exist, and then that was it. She's like, she had 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we did every possible encounter in this particular.
Yay!
I mean, if you try to hole up or or try to leave the village, you just continuously get attacked by blights until you change your mind. So you only had to fight one group of blights. Yeah, it says like if you spend more than a few minutes in one location, more and more blights converge. You get a d6 blights every time you aren't proactive with something. And if you do make it out of the city, just more and more crystalline vines happen, and then eventually the Moon Dancer just comes and picks you up. She apparently passes her DC 10 charisma check.
But instead, we kind of bullied the guy off.
That would have been
We definitely pinballed him.
yeah, that would have been straight up a tough combat encounter because like 10 thugs and a veteran at this level, like that's not nothing.
I mean, I was gonna hypnotic pattern as many of them and fit in a 30-foot cube.
I was also just gonna like blow my horn and get my flute again and frighten them all.
Yeah, like we've got a lot. We actually at 5th level, you have so many crowd control options. Yeah.
All right, so this is good. Hopefully, this is gonna how this whole campaign goes. It's just 12 weeks of nice little bite-sized adventures that I don't have to do a lot of prep work for, and I can just read nonsense out of the book. And I will be sharing all of the artwork in the book as we go. It's just this chapter 1 doesn't have any except for the teddy bugbear.
So is the majority of the campaign theater of mind, or are there actual maps?
No, there are maps. There's ship combat. There's twists and turns. There's betrayals. There's big monsters.
Listen to me.
I think it's really good that in the Raven, in the Salute the Flumph canon, we have destroyed the world of Faerun. I think that's the important part.
We know that Earth is still there. Like
Or
that's
deserves
doing
to be
well.
there, right?
Because I'm with Destil. I'm not the biggest fan of Forgotten Realms as a setting, which I get it. They just want like generic fantasy setting.
Yeah, I've come to terms with like the fact that it exists and is popular. There's some good stuff there you can steal if you want to.
And we've played a bunch of the Forgotten Realm campaigns. We played Dragon Queen. We played the Elemental Evil. Like we played Storm King's Thunder. So there's good stuff in the setting. You can have.
Oh yeah, definitely. I played. Like I said, well, Descent to Avernus really isn't a Baldur's Gate game unless you actually like play the intro adventure that takes you to level 5. But it's really dumb.
We spent like 2 months in Baldur's Gate. Like we really enjoyed the Baldur's Gate part of it. Like we started at level 1 and took it low and slow.
Yeah.
So, Destil, question for you. Excluding Forgotten Realms, because I know Forgotten Realms is in Magic the Gathering now.
Yeah.
So, what is the most generic Magic the Gathering setting?
Dominaria?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Generic ass fantasy generic land.
usually around this time in our D&D sessions, I would be taking a 15-minute break. But since we've come to the end of the adventure, that's it. Y'all are dismissed. Thanks so much for watching.
I'm gonna go watch the D&D
Yes,
movie.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, if you haven't, watch the D&D movie. It's good. It's on Paramount. You'll enjoy
Yeah, it's real
it.
good. Apparently, you
It's
can
on
just watch it
Paramount.
now.
You're just gonna
It's on
end,
Paramount right now.
Yeah, you're just gonna end like the stream on this girl and her Cupid doll face.
Yeah, no. We're
Yeah.
ending it right there.